Yo, what's good, John? Today's video, I got how to make +1 speed keyboard escape. I think that's what the game is called and stuff. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get straight into the video. So, this is part one, very simple. So make sure you have your Explorer, Properties, and Output tab open. If you don't have them open, click Window at the top here, and then just make sure they're open. We need Output to be able to debug programming errors, Explorer to see all of our objects, and then on Properties to see the properties of said objects, right? So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first things first, we need a key, right? Like you guys know, like a keyboard key, like that the players walk on and stuff. Literally, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click go to Window, Toolbox. I'm literally gonna search. Uh, I'm going to search keyboard key, right? I'm just gonna search that up. So you can just type it. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna get a free model and stuff, right? You can make your own, or you can get a free model. It's really up to you guys for what you want to do, right? So I have this part, right? I'm gonna go ahead and just name this key, right? Now to match the theme of the game, I'm gonna make this color, I'm gonna set the color to be pink, right? Now we need to insert two things. First, we need a hitbox because you know how like in the, like how you guys know how obviously in the thing in the game, if you step on a key, then it'll go down as if you were actually pressing the key in real life. So I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger since I'm probably I gotta probably gotta group this. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna right click, group as model, and then you can, or actually, no, sorry, no. Let's insert a folder into workspace, right? And we'll name this folder keys. Then we'll drag key into keys, and then from here we'll just scale it. Okay, or it doesn't matter. The point is, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger. I might just change the, no, I'll just do this. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger, so something like that maybe. Yes, I think, but even then, I still feel like not as that's too tall. That is definitely way too tall, and that's too wide as well. I think something like that. But you guys can set the size of the key to be whatever you want it to be. If it looks too small for you, make it bigger. If it's too big, make it smaller. It's completely up to you guys. But yeah, so then we need a hitbox to detect whenever a player like is stepping on it, so that the key will go down. So we can insert a part into the key. This will be called our hitbox. So literally what you're just going to do is you literally just want to make sure it just encompasses the key. So I'm just going to go boom, 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 go up a little bit. We can set the background transparency to 0.5 so that you can see it better. And then I'd say, oh, see, I'm missing this corner right there. Then I'd say that's a pretty valid, yeah, there we go. So it's a pretty valid hitbox. So when you're done, set the transparency to 1. Disable can collide. Make sure it's anchored. Also make sure your regular key part is anchored, and also disable can collide with that as well. Right? And then next thing we need is a surface GUI. The reason we need that is you guys know how the keys, they have like a letter on them. They have like a randomized letter on them. That's what we need that for. So we'll add this to the key. So we'll insert a surface GUI, right? Then we could just call this key GUI. Then you're going to insert a text label, right? Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the key GUI. We're going to play around with this until we are able to see it. So I'm going to keep changing the face until I'm able to see it. There we go. So I did the top. And then now for the text label, I'm going to change it to be scale. So I just set that to 1. There we go. So now it'll just kind of fit and stuff. I wonder if the key GUI, I don't think it really changes it. Yeah, I didn't think so. But yeah. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set the background transparency for this. I'm gonna set this to 1. Gonna do bold text, rich text, scale text, right? And then by default, I'm just gonna set the letter to be A and stuff. You guys can set the letter to be whatever you want it to be, kind of thing. I'm just gonna set it to be A, and then I'm just gonna call this key text label, right? And then once you guys have finished working on your first one, the great thing is you can go ahead and create a whole bunch more. So once you're done, we can just go ahead and duplicate some more. I do still feel like it is pretty small, in my opinion. Um, I think, wait, if I do this, there we go. Okay, now I can scale it better. Okay, I feel like that's a little better. I feel like that's a little better. Then I'm just gonna rotate it so it's kind of facing this direction. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. we'll do a full 90. Close enough. Okay, so then once we have the key, right, here's what we're going to do. You're going to grab the key, you're going to click it, you're going to duplicate the key. You can do this by pressing Control plus D or right clicking and duplicating, right? Then you're just going to move it over. You just want to space it out a little bit. You want them to be close, but not like ultra close. And then you're just going to keep doing it. You're just duplicating, Control plus D, or just right clicking and duplicating, right? Boom. Okay, that might actually be maybe a little too far away because you want them to have a little bit of space, but not too much space. But again, it's up to you for how much stuff you guys really want to do with this, like how many you want to have and the spacing and stuff. This is just my example. Then once you have a set amount of keys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of them. I'm just going to say hierarchy, select children. I'm going to duplicate. We're going to move forward. Boom, boom again, and boom again. And now we have 5 rows. Okay, cool. 5 rows, 5 columns. Very nice. Right? So we have all of our keys and they're inside of our keys folder, right? Then we're going to make a quick UI element and then we can move on to the coding. So find stutter GUI, plus icon, screen GUI. Go ahead and rename this to be core GUI. Disable reset on spawn. Then you can insert a text label. Go ahead and name this speed text label. This is going to display the player's current speed. So you're going to put this at like the bottom middle. We can do bold text, rich text, scale text. I'm gonna set the text color to be white. Text stroke color will be black, and text stroke transparency will be set to 0. You can clear out the text, and then we can set the background transparency to 1, and then we're pretty much good from there. And now we can move on to the coding. All right, so open up Starter Player scripts plus icon local script. Rename this to be core script. In parentheses put local. We're gonna delete print hello world. We're going to I'm trying to think. We're gonna create a couple of variables. Oh, sorry. Actually, sorry. There's one more thing I actually forgot to go over. I did have a sound. You guys don't have to have a sound, but I got a sound. So it's like a clicking sound. It's just a sound for when you like step on the key. You don't have to have a sound if you don't want to. If you do want a sound, go to the toolbox. Um, you're gonna go to audio and then just like search like I guess clicking sound and stuff like that, and then just find an audio you like, put it in sound service, and then you're good from there. And stuff. That's all I did. But yeah. So anyway, let's get into the coding. So let's create a variable for the tween service. That's where we're going to animate the part to go up and down. The key for whenever a player steps on it. So ts is equal to game get service tween service. Then of course we need the sound service. So ss is equal to game get service sound service. Then we need a variable for our player. So game.players.local player. Then we need a variable for our core GUI. So core GUI is equal to player.player GUI, wait for child, core GUI. Then let's say this. We're gonna say player, wait for child, leader stats, right? Because we're gonna display the player speed, of course. So then we'll get the speed. We'll say speed is equal to player dot leader stats. Then we'll say wait. We'll say wait for child, in quotation marks, speed. And then we will get the keys, which is in the workspace. So keys equals workspace, sorry, not get children, sorry. Workspace, wait for child, keys, right? Then from here we use a for loop for the keys. We will say for I, comma v and I pairs, keys, get children, enter. Then of course we have the specific key, which is set to v. Then we're going to generate a random letter. So pretty much every time the player joins the game, it'll just generate random letters so that way it's like they all don't have the same letter stuff, right? So the way we do this is by doing this. We're going to say random letter is equal to string dot character math random. You're going to say 65 comma 90 to give us a random letter from the alphabet. Then we need to see if the key is currently being pressed, because we don't want to run the like function to make it go down if it's in the process of being pressed. So this is false by default. We use it to keep track of that. We will capture the original C frame so we know what to return it back to. So original C frame is equal to key.cframe. Then we have the press C frame. So pretty much how it's supposed to go down. So original C frame times not C frame times vector3 dot new 0 comma negative 1 comma 0. right? Then we're gonna say key dot key GUI dot key text label dot text is equal to random letter, so it'll update. And then we'll set up the code for whenever a player touches the key or like steps on the key. So key dot hitbox dot touched connect function in parentheses put hit enter. You're gonna say if hit dot parent find first child humanoid and not is pressed, right? So pretty much it is a character and it's not currently being pressed. Then we will say is pressed. We will set it is pressed equal to true, right? And then we will we will get our sound. Sorry, not speed sound. I'm sorry guys, it's 3 in the morning. I'm not gonna lie, I'm honestly kind of tired. Okay, so we're gonna get our sound. Like I said, if you don't want a sound, you don't have to do this part. But if you do have a sound, you're gonna say ss dot click. You're gonna clone it. This way, it plays as if it's coming from the key itself. So you're gonna parent it to the key. Then we have our down tween. This is pretty much it, like animating, going down as like it's being pressed down to give the illusion that it's being pressed down. So down tween is equal to ts create. You're gonna say key comma tween info dot new. Then we're gonna do 0.15 seconds. Again, this is up to you, but this is what I'm doing. enum dot easing style dot quad enum dot easing direction dot out. Then comma special bracket C frame is equal to pressed C frame. And we'll say down tween play, and then we will also play our sound, right? Then once the sound is done playing, we'll destroy it. So we'll say sound dot ended, connect function, close parentheses, enter, sound destroy, right? Then moving on, we will skip. So we'll skip 3 ends, right? Then for our next function, we will say key dot hitbox dot touch ended. Literally, we're just going to do the complete opposite. So connect function, close parentheses, enter. We're just going to do the complete opposite. We're going to say if hit, oh my bad, if hit dot parent find first child humanoid, and this time is pressed to make sure that the key is currently being pressed down. Then we can update is pressed, we set to false, and then we can just do the opposite. So we'll do a up tween. So we'll copy this, paste this. Oh my bad, I was supposed to put hit in parentheses. Make sure you do that right there. But yeah, so this is the up tween, so a little different. Gonna copy paste. So for this is going to be 0.3 seconds instead of 15. The easing style will be back instead of quad, and then it's still out. And then we're setting the C frame to the original C frame, right? And then boom, we're done with that part. Then the last thing we just need is the UI updates. So whenever our speed is updated, we need to reflect in the on the text label. So we'll say if speed, this is just for formatting stuff, so speed the value is greater than or equal. This is so that like if your speed is like, let's say 3200, it'll say 3.2k instead of literally 3200 kind of thing. If speed that value is greater than 186, enter, then we'll say core GUI dot speed text label dot text is equal to string dot format quotation mark. We will say percent symbol, or sorry, money symbol, percent symbol dot 1f uppercase M, then comma speed dot value, divide that by 186. Go on the outside of the dot quotation marks, speed, right? Then we can of course throw our else. So we'll say else. We'll copy this part of the code. So copy, then come back here, paste. Now for this, you're gonna have 1e3, and then the only differences with this is that you're going to change this M to a K, and then you're going to say 1e. You're gonna say 1e3, and then, or sorry, 1e3, and then we're gonna throw an else, right? Where we simply just say core GUI that speed text label dot text is equal to speed dot value dot quotation mark space speed. And then we're gonna do the same thing. So this sets it for when the player first joins the game, but we need a function that's triggered whenever the player's current speed changes, and so that it properly reflects on with the UI. So we'll simply just say speed dot changed connect function close parentheses enter, and then in the parentheses you're going to put new speed, so whatever the new speed is, so new speed, and then you can just copy and paste this to save yourself some time. So copy paste, and then you're just going to change this we're gonna change speed to new speed. So just copy, paste, 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 and paste. There we go. Okay, let's move on to the server-side scripting, and then we're almost done. So server script service, server script, right? Then we'll name this core script to parentheses quit server. We will delete print hello world. We will create a variable for no, yeah, we'll create a variable for the run service. We'll say rs, short for run service. So game get service run service, right? And then now we'll set up the stuff so that player, like as they walk, they'll progressively get faster and faster. So game.players, that player added, connect function in parentheses, put PLR, which is short for the player who joined the game. Enter, let's create a folder for our leader stats, right? So leader stats is equal to instance.new folder. Leader stats.name is equal to leader stats. Leader stats.parent is equal to player. And then, of course, we need our speed value. So speed is equal to instance.new, number value, speed.name is equal to speed.value by default. You can set, I mean, if you wanted to set this to like 16 or whatever the default walking speed is, it's up to you, but I'm just going to set it to 0. Then we'll say speed.parent is equal to leader stats, so we can display the speed. And then we'll say player.character added, connect function, in parentheses, put character, then enter. And then we will get their humanoid, character wait for child, humanoid, oh my bad, humanoid, and then we need to check to make sure there's, and then we also need to be able to check to make sure that it's not currently on cooldown and stuff, because you want to delay in between, like, you know, the player getting the +1 speed in this case. So we're going to create that. So we'll say on cooldown, by default to be set to false. Then we'll say rs.heartbeat, connect function, close parentheses, enter. You will say if humanoid dot move direction dot magnitude is greater than 0 and not on cooldown, so pretty much if the player is moving and they're not currently on cooldown, then we'll say on cooldown and says it's true. We'll say speed dot value plus equal to, again up to you, whatever you want that number to be. Character dot humanoid dot walk speed matches whatever speed dot value says. And then we'll do task that wait. I'll wait 1 second before getting rid of the cooldown, right? But again, this stuff is completely up to you guys. Let's go ahead and test to make sure this works. As always, if you guys want access to any one of my scripts or models, just simply read the description and find out how to gain access. Just look at the description, you guys will figure out how to gain access. Okay, so as you can see, we're already starting off with a problem. Oh my bad. I see the. Oh my bad, guys. There's no need to put a value because this is a value. My bad. So just remove this dot value part right here. When we were just copying and pasting this part, there's no need for it. Yeah. Okay. So let's to make sure you remove that. Okay. Now. Okay. Yeah. See, Yep. I'm gaining more speed. I'm getting faster and faster as I continue to walk. If I stop walking, I don't gain any more speed. But if I get back to it, then I start gaining more speed. Progressively getting faster, and it also updates here. Now for the keyboards. Oh no, that's not good. C frame is equal. Given type is vector 3. Interesting. Okay, let's go back to the local script. Let's see what's going on here. C frame is equal to press C frame. Press C frame. Oh, my bad, guys. My bad. I see what's going on. This is not supposed to be a multiplication symbol. It's supposed to be a plus. So plus. My bad, guys. So make sure you set it to be a plus. Okay. Now let's see. There we go. Yeah, there you go. As you guys can see, right? You hear the sound. You see they smoothly go down, pop back up. Very cool. They could go down further and stuff, but again, you guys can feel free to mess with this stuff, make it go down or come up faster, make it go down even further by adjusting this and stuff. Like you can set this like negative 1.5 if you want them to go down even further and whatnot. But yeah, so pretty much you would just build a gigantic map. You would just have all the letters, and then they would just like run through them and stuff. And then also notice how each one has like their own like it's just a whole bunch of randomized letters and stuff like that. Some obviously will repeat as it's the only 26 letters and stuff, right? Like here we have 2 A's and stuff. And then I think there's like there's two R's. But yeah. But if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe. If you guys want to see more videos on me covering this game and stuff, for sure, just let me know, guys. And stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely like, subscribe. Let me know you enjoyed. Leave any comments or suggestions, or if anything else you guys want to see. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.